you.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and my question is, did you get any good at ping pong? Or were you really good at ping pong?
I did, actually. I did. Yeah, I'll challenge it. Ping pong. I did. I love ping pong. But I loved it before that, too, though. But yeah, there was a great moment where the director had this idea of watching me do, lift the ping pong table up halfway so that I'm playing with myself. So hit the wall, and he put a big plexiglass, and they put the camera behind that. And so, I just got really good at hitting one monster.
Thank you.
Hi, Kevin, you're adorable. And I think we're all very curious. What happened to your mom's first crush, Kevin?
I call him Dad. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what happened to the crush. He's probably in prison.
Hi, Kevin. My name's Michelle from here in New Jersey.
What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle, nice to meet you.
First of all, love you, Detective Douche. It was really important to call you that.
Thank you.
I wanted to know if you knew or you had an opinion on why hell in the show was like blue and like kind of snowy looking, apart from like how we all think hell is. Like,
Yeah, I think obviously we wanted it to be sort of dark and ominous and lonely feeling. And I think the snowy was a representation of ash. So it's ashy. That's what that effect was. If you go back and watch it, I think they nailed the loneliness of it. I mean, you're trapped for eternity in your own hell, in your own thought, in your own, inability to forgive yourself. And I think that's why it went the way it did. Color scheme was a very big deal in our show. In fact, when I direct, even to this day, I'm very adamant about what color I put my villains in, or what color I put, my heroes in, or what color the wall is. Subconsciously, we're having emotion because of color. A lot of times we don't realize that's the reason we're feeling that way.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Kevin. So I know Detective Douche is not like the greatest name ever to come on a TV show.
Don't get me wrong, I fucking love it, guys.
All
right.
Especially in the first season, your character is almost like the butt of the joke, almost in the beginning of the first season. But I understand some ad-libs go on too throughout the show. So was there a time where like maybe, I don't know, Tom said maybe Detective Douche too much, and you were like, come on, it was caught on camera, or anything like that, similar to that effect?
There was an episode about that, where finally I was like, my name is Dan! Not Detective Douche. So we had an episode with it, but no, it's like, we go with it, we roll with it, we have fun with it, and that's what we did, And they always cut it out, but I always had something to say back to him. Detective, yeah, Dick. Or, I always had something to say back to him, but I guess it wasn't cool to talk back to the devil.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hi, how are you, Kevin? Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you. I loved you in Arrow. You were definitely a douche in that role.
I was.
I just wanted to know about your experience and I guess some of your moments from working on the True Blood cast.
You want to know about my experience working on True Blood? Yeah. It was a great experience too. That was a really hard show too. But it was big. There were like 20-something series regulars. And everyone was a different species. You have witches and wolves and vampires. So we didn't get to all communicate or do a bunch of scenes together like we did with Lucifer. We're together every day, right? So everything was split up. So the times that we would all be together would be at the table read, so that's when we got to be together as a whole cast. But it was difficult sometimes because you have to live like a vampire. You have to shoot like a vampire, so the hours are reversed. You're going from, dusk till sunrise, as opposed to the opposite. And challenging up in the mountains and cold, but at the end of the day, it was so entertaining. And I gotta tell you, aside from our Lucifer fans, that group of fans is so loyal, even to this day, that makes me love it even more. Like I still have people come up to me, recognize me from that, or appreciating what we did on that show, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry for starting with Detective Douche. My next
You
question,
did it, Tom did.
True. My next question is, what other actor would you like to see guest star on the show?
What other actor on Lucifer would I like to see guest star on my new show? Is that the question?
No, like what other actor, like in general, would you like to see a guest star on Lucifer?
Oh, got you. Anthony Hopkins. That'd be dope. And only because I think he's amazing. Yeah. And hopefully one day I'll get to act with him.
I agree, he's awesome. Thanks.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for being here today. You've got a number of directorial credits under your name. You had 4, if I'm not mistaken, for Lucifer. What was your favorite episode to direct, and what would be your dream project to direct?
Well, that's a great question. So I have a real love for all the episodes that I got to direct on Lucifer, because that sort of, for lack of better words, cut my teeth as a director on that show with a group of people that knew that I could do it probably more than I thought I could do it. You know what I mean? And they had my back, and I really developed my confidence as a director on that show. And I've got to say that I love all my directing experiences, but I think I just talked about this earlier too with people in the room, is I had the opportunity to go off and direct Catherine Zeta-Jones and all these young, new up-and-coming actors on National Treasure. Yeah, and I gotta say that was my first time to direct outside of a company of players that I didn't know, right? So it was nerve-wracking, it was exciting, and to direct somebody like her at that level was slightly intimidating. But those are all things that we go through, like in our thoughts. At the end of the day, you gotta check it at the door and come in and do your job, which I thought I did. Actually, I know I did. It turned out to be a really great episode. So I think that one right there has directing on my new show is also a beautiful experience, because I never directed anything handheld like that. Like our show is predominantly a handheld kind of show. It's fast, it's moving, it's giant action, so that's a challenge. But I think National Treasure is because it was new, and it was like walking onto the stage for the first time, shaking the nerves at the door and pretending you know what you're doing, and I loved it. And I hope to continue to grow in that aspect and direct more of my new show and direct outside of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Kevin. My name is Edgar, and I have a comment and then a follow-up question. The comment first is going to be that we absolutely loved you. My wife and I loved you in True Blood as Jesus, and you are the only reason that we even started watching Lucifer to begin with, while we fell in love with all the other characters.
Love to hear that.
So we appreciate that. And my question is about character development. In the show Lucifer, of course, the arc of the character Lucifer, of course, is paramount. However, your character has probably just as far of a developmental arc. And my question is, how much input did you have on that development? And if so, you know, what was that input?
Yeah, so every season before we go into production, we have a meeting with the writers, and they let us know where their arc is going. And I really honestly think that the biggest influence I had on the direction of my character was just sort of introducing comedic aspects to Kevin Alejandro's personality that translated into, that inspired them to add more of that into that character. But I never asked for anything or a certain direction. I just trusted, which is what we do. I just trusted that they knew what they were doing, and they did. And you know, and I went on that journey with them. So I didn't have a big influence on the story, but I did have an influence on the personality of Dan.
Perfect, but you made it come to life, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Robin from New Jersey. Love your acting work. Question I have is, between Once Upon a Time, the episode, the bonus episode, and the ending in season 6, which one did you like better with how you dealt with Charlotte and you, either on the road, going to Las Vegas with all of Lucifer's money, or actually being up in heaven and enjoying yourselves for all eternity?
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I'm not sure yet.
I like the bad Dan, I'm not gonna lie. I like the bad, edgy Dan who like I can steal some money, wears leather jackets, and it's like, let's go driving in my convertible with all this stolen money. That was fun.
Thank you.
Hi, Kevin. My question is, during the show, Dan had like an arc or a period where he did improv. And I was wondering if you had any experience with improv before and like what you brought to that if you did, and what was it like doing like the improv shows and things like that?
Yeah, I have a really heavy improv background actually. I went to the University of Texas in Austin for their, yeah, thank you. I did that. For their theater program. And was luckily trained by some really great people, and improv was a very big necessary tool that I think all actors should have. So yeah, but I was never part of an improv troupe. You know, I used to compete a little bit in high school with what was called brown bag improv, where you would compete against other teams where you would get a brown bag with a bunch of different props and create a scene with those props on the spot for like 5 minutes or whatever, be a 5-minute scene. You know, luckily, like that sort of started my improv love, and like I said, it was a competitive thing, so we got to go to like district and area and regional and state competitions, and compete against other kids in the world, and so I got lucky to be able to do that. And the improv in the show, the character idea had nothing to do with me. They didn't even know that I could do improv. That was all them, and then, you know, the more I shared after that, they're like, oh shit, man, we're on the right track. Yeah. I love improv.
Thanks so much.
Hi. I'm wondering how you liked working with Tricia Helfer, and how do you think, I mean, in the end we kind of know how he felt about it, but Dan had to interact with Mom thinking she was Charlotte, and then also as Charlotte, so, which was sort of a mean trick to play on him. But
Which was sort of a what?
a mean trick to play
Oh,
on
yeah.
him, like the poor guy. How did you work through being able to do that? This is the same person, but she's not, and I'm the only one who doesn't know it.
Well, that was just Dan accepting Dan. Well, okay, that happened to me. Guess I gotta move on. And he did. But I love working with Tricia. She's a great woman, and I hope to work with her a whole lot more on many other projects. Man, God could not have put the perfect group of actors together, I think. You know, for all of us to be able to sit here and laugh together, but also behind the laughter, is a truth and an honesty and, you know, a real heartfelt relationship. And I'm just honored that I got to do that with people like Trisha, you know. So yeah, that's my answer.
Thank you.
Did you say take off my improv? Now we're going somewhere.
Sing a song. I got a question over here.
What?
Hello, Kevin. My name's Maggie. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. And I'd just like to know, yes, and just in case anybody's wondering, Mick Jagger did call us the city that rhymes with fun. But anyways, I have some chocolates that I'd like to, from Canada. Ice wine chocolates. Can I just bring them up and give them to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Do I need to take any clothes off for it? I'm not taking off my clothes. We had a moment. Wish you were there.
We have time for one more question.
Yes. Hi, Kevin.
What's up?
I'm Mary from Pennsylvania. I love you on Fire Country.
Thank you.
Please tell me that we're going to be seeing more of Manny in the later episodes.
Absolutely. So we have a new episode coming out this Friday. In case you guys don't know, it's on CBS. It is one of the new #1 shows on CBS. Thank God. We did it again. And yeah, absolutely. You know, Manny, I really hope that you guys can make the journey over there to that show too, because that's another wonderful group of people that are ultimate professionals and just as hungry as we all should be, and loving the fact that we get to do the greatest fucking job in the world. But so to answer your question, yes, Manny, he is the captain of this program. That's a real program. Yeah, maybe let's do it. You're inspiring me.
Thank you
Should
so
have answered
much.
it. Who is it? Yeah? Can I text them back for you? Can I have your phone? It's even better. It's her husband. Can I call him?